Hello and a very warm welcome to our continuing coverage of the AFC Champions League Elite, Asia's premier club competition. And today it's Central Coast Mariners versus Shanghai Shenhua, this from the East region on match day 4. And for Central Coast Mariners, well, they're not quite dead, but they're on life support in terms of potential qualification for the next stage. That's how bad it is. They're second from the bottom, 3 matches, 3 defeats. And they really need something from this game today. Up against Shanghai Shenhua, you see they're currently in 4th place with 2 wins from their 3 matches to date. And just to confirm how this works, of course, it's the new rebranded Champions League Elite. Top 8 teams in each of the East and West groups will qualify for the last 16. And that round of 16 will see clubs play another team within their own region. That'll be a 2-legged home and away tie in March. And then quarterfinals and semis will be over a single game in April. The final is scheduled to be in Saudi Arabia on May the 4th. You saw those weather details there a moment ago on your screen. It's pretty cool, just about perfect conditions really for football. 20 degrees centigrade, that's around 70 Fahrenheit in old money. And a very impressive turnout from the away supporters here. It's a long journey. You would suspect some of them maybe live rather closer to where we are in Gosford than back home in China. The central coast of New South Wales here, a stadium that can hold 20,000. It's not full tonight, but very passionate fans, particularly from the visitors here, Shanghai Shenhua. Had an emotional last few days, actually, the Chinese club. They won on the final day of the Chinese Super League at the weekend. They beat Chengdu Rongchen, came from a goal down, actually, to win it 2-1. Sadly for them, Shanghai Port won as well. So Shanghai Port finished just a single point ahead of them. Shanghai Shenhua having to settle for the runners-up spot this season. But their coach, Leonid Slutsky, the Russian, saying that it's made them even more hungry now. They've just got the one competition to concentrate on, the Champions League Elite. And interesting also that as far as Central Coast Mariners are concerned, their league season is at a completely different stage. They've only played so far 3 league matches in the A-League. They've actually drawn all 3. Only scored 1 goal, got a 0-0 at home against Perth Glory on Saturday. Scoring goals has been a problem, and they've been letting in too many at the other end as well. There's some interesting team news. We'll give that to you in a few minutes' time once we've seen the teams come out. That is the away support, and it's plentiful. First time that these 2 sides have ever met, and the current form is something of a stark contrast. Central Coast have failed to win any of their last 6 in all competitions. Shanghai Shenhua have won 16 of their last 20 matches. Not quite enough to win them that Chinese Super League title, as I mentioned, but still. And away from home, they have been rampant. They've scored 2 or more goals in 8 of their last 10 games on the road. Slutsky also stressing that the team's success of late is based initially on a solid back line. 15 clean sheets in the last 30, so a clean sheet every other match. That's extremely impressive. It's their 10th appearance in an AFC Intercontinental Tournament, Shanghai Shenhua. Their first for 4 years, actually. They're trying to better their standout performance, which was a quarter-final in the AFC Champions League back in 2006. Excellent start for them. They beat Pohang Steelers 4-1 on match day 1. They were a goal down, actually, in that match and scored 4 times in the last 25 minutes. Then they had a surprising reverse, really. They were beaten 3-0 at Johor Darul of Malaysia on match day 2, but then came back strongly last time out, beating the Japanese side Kawasaki Frontale by 2-0. So certainly you would say they would come in favourites against the Central Coast Mariners side that have been very disappointing, as those fans would no doubt accept, in the Champions League Elite so far this season. They lost 3-1 at Shandong Taishan for starters, and then a really disappointing 2-1 home defeat against Buriram of Thailand, and then narrowly, by the odd goal in 5, they went down at Shanghai Port on match day 3. Officials just waiting for the clock to tick round. It's around about 5 minutes to 7 local time in the evening here in Gosford. And all these things timed to the minute when the officials and the teams come out. Central Coast Mariners, who enjoyed success in the AFC Cup last season. It was actually their first appearance in the competition, and they won it. Beat the Lebanese side Al Ahad in the final in Amman with an 84th minute winner. And if they can win tonight, because of the structure that I mentioned a moment ago in terms of the top 8 teams going through, they would still have potentially a decent chance. If they lose tonight, it wouldn't mathematically mean they couldn't make it, but it would, well, it would be very, very tough. So the pressure, you would have to say, is more on the Central Coast Mariners than it is on the team from Shanghai. Brian Kaltak, the Central Coast Mariners skipper. And that's Zhu Chengjie, who will captain Shanghai Shenhua. Both the skippers, central defenders. They know that they've underperformed in this competition this season. Coach Mark Jackson has said as much. But there is still a way back if they're good enough to take it. Mariners have never been past the round of 16 in the AFC Champions League. 4 successive seasons actually in the competition, 2012 to 2015. Obviously hugely successful domestically, despite being one of the smallest clubs actually financially in the A-League. Well, the Mariners coach, Mark Jackson, has gone with a 5-man defence today. That's how concerned he is about Shanghai Shenhua's ability going forward. Sasha Kosevsky comes in at left back in place of Storm Roux. Archie McCalmont will direct operations from central midfield, with Ryan Edmondson the chief goal threat. And he'll be supported by Vitor Feijão. The man in charge tonight is Mohamed Sareh from Iraq. And we do have VAR in operation. The VAR officials this evening are from the United Arab Emirates, and there they are. Somewhat surprisingly, 5 changes in the Shanghai Shenhua lineup from match day 3. Wilson Manafa and Jiang Xinglong come into the back 4. Xie Pengfei will be the midfield anchor, with Xu Haoyun restored wide on the right-hand side. Just a reminder that both sides can use any of the 5 substitutes, plus an additional substitution in the event of a concussion injury. Three points, the only outcome really that Central Coast Mariners will want to countenance here. I think if Shanghai Shenhua come away with a draw, they won't mind that much Obviously, they've had a long journey to get here. All the emotion of just failing to win the Chinese Super League at the weekend. Coach Leonid Slutsky said there was a bit of a glum atmosphere directly after that match at the weekend, even though they won the game but couldn't win the title. But now they are fully focused on this match. So away we go with Central Coast Mariners all in yellow, and they're attacking the goal away to our left in this first half, and no doubt looking for a quick start. They'll probably try and get the ball into Ryan Edmondson's feet. He's an excellent target man, and they've got the pace of Feijao alongside him, and that didn't look good straight away. The card is out. That, when you see a player as still as that, you know there may be an issue. It was Edmondson jumping, and Caltax also got a bang on the head. You could see the Shanghai Shenhua players straight away right round their fallen colleague and motioning for some help from the bench, which arrived very quickly. Have seen in these kind of situations players swallow their tongue, which is never good. Let's hope that isn't the case. But there's a very concerned posse of players around their stricken colleague. No doubt Leonid Slutsky there, the 53-year-old Russian coach, is similarly concerned. So Caltax's going to get a card. I don't actually think there was any intent, but you could just see from the way his opponent went down. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't trying to make contact with his opponent, but ouch. Let's hope that Xie Pengfei's okay. I think this may have to be a very early change. It's Mark Jackson. He's been in charge for a year, having left MK Dons in England. Actually retained the A-League title in his first season here. He's done some TV commentary work in Russia, apparently, of late, as Leonid Slutsky. Just before he joined the club here, he's been all over the place in his managerial career. Hull City, Vitesse Arnhem, Rubin Kazan in Russia. Meanwhile, concern continues for Xie Pengfei. You can see the stretcher is out there, and at least 3 members of the medical staff. Well, the supporters are chanting his name, the Shanghai Shenhua fans, and he may have to consider who's going to come on, although I think he's already made that decision, actually, judging by the 4th official has the board out. Never take any chances with that kind of an injury. They're not going to rush it. Literally went down, Xie Pengfei, and it was pretty much stock still on the turf. Looks like he's just about conscious, which is obviously a good thing, yeah. But he's in a bad way, I think. He's one of their most experienced players, the 31-year-old. So Yu Han Chao is going to come on. Obviously never what a coach wants to have to make an enforced change this early. Should be a straight swap, like for like. Easy for the keeper, that one. Yuhan Chao's pretty experienced, very experienced. He's 37 now. Can play either wide in midfield or down the middle. Nearly 60 caps for his country. He's retired now from the international scene. But he's a wise old head in this kind of a situation. Which probably explains why Slutsky has decided to go for him rather than one of the more generally central midfielders, but don't have the experience that Yuhan Chao does. In towards Fei Zhao, it was too hard for him to gather. Sometimes it can be difficult when a team's seen a player injured like that. It'll just take a few minutes just to reassess. That's certainly hurt Teixeira. Portuguese central midfielder, although he can play in a more advanced role when he's asked to. Here's Wilson Manafa, another Portuguese, playing at full-back this evening. Feature in the starting lineup on match day 3. Caltech's cushioned header. Nathan Paul, who hasn't had too much game time this season, the big centre-half. Well, nor is Sasha Kozewski there. So a bit of a patched-up defence tonight for Mark Jackson's team. Here's Fei Zhao. Edmondson has made a decent one into the middle. It was behind him, it was towards Fei Zhao actually, but he was never going to reach it. Wan Hee-jin doing the defending. This is Nathan Paul. Came through the Sydney Academy. Arrived here last year. Coaxed wide by Docker. Was aimed for Maragis, but nowhere near him, really. That league game I mentioned that they played at the weekend, the Mariners against Perth Glory, they finished 0-0. They had 67% possession, but only managed 2 shots. Chelsea, probably all you need to know about where things have gone wrong this season. Here's McAlmont. Normally a very proficient passer of the ball, but not that time. Here's Xu Haoyun. Came through the youth academy here. And he had 3 loan spells, made his international debut a few months ago for the Chinese national team. One well in the air by Andre Luis. H. Cullen is in goal for Central Coast Mariners tonight. Started with Adam Pavlicic on match day 1. H. Cullen did play in the defeat on match day 3. Luis is waiting in the middle. It went short instead to Teixeira. Just about dealt with by the Mariners. Can't keep it though. That's easy enough though for Terech Cullen. Maragis. McAlmont. I think Jackson will want to see McAlmont, the number 8, just bottom of your screen, getting more involved in a more advanced position. He's the kind of player who can unlock a defence with a pass. As indeed can Mikhail Docker there, the Brazilian. Actually He had 5 years at Santos Docker, but he never made a senior appearance for arguably Brazil's most famous club. This is McCalmont. Moragues making a run for him. Try and get forward from left back when he can. That's not a bad cross. Same for Edmondson, just didn't quite have the height to reach the centre forward. But at least that was more proactive from Jackson's team. Docker. See what he was trying to do, slide it through for Feijão, who'd made a run. Moragues wasn't really entitled to win that, and then he rather ran into his own man, Ian Feijão, and neither ended up being able to do anything with it. McCalmont starting to see a bit more of the ball, the number 8. It made Moragues work there, it really did. It's Caltech. Moragues, see already the visitors enjoying more than 60% of the ball. Forward by Harrington. A name you might not be too familiar with, just 20, Diesel Harrington. He made one substitute appearance in the A-League so far this season, having arrived here in the summer. Moragues. Feijão. Back to Harry Steele. Feijão trying something a little elaborate that didn't come off. And there could be a break on. Here's Teixeira for Shanghai Shenhua. Just hit the heel of Andre Luis, who he was trying to release. Maybe something here is a bit wide, Docker, and he'll settle for the throw. Calmont. Steele, Docker. Oh, goalkeeper nearly had one of those horror moments, didn't he? For a second, he didn't know where it was, Bao Yaoshun. Very grateful that he was able to grab it at the second time of asking. That would have been one of those horrible moments for a goalkeeper. Alpha. Teixeira just had too many yellow shirts around him, really. Tied up by Harrington. Docker. Now Steele. Feijão. In towards Edmondson. Keeper didn't look overly committed there, did he? I think he was undecided whether to come or not. In the end, just about did enough, but it wasn't convincing from Bao Yaoshun. So it looked like Edmondson was second favourite to get there at one stage. Got the job done in the end, though, the keeper, at the expense of the first quarter of the game. It's towards Kaltak, and also up there was Nathan Paul, but neither got a decent connection. And look at this, streaming away, Shanghai Shenhua. Yuhan Chao's made a great run on this near side, and they can all stay up there for the corner. I think Teixeira was a little undecided whether to go himself or try and release a colleague. If you look on the bottom of your screen, that's the substitute, Yuhan Chao, making a great run to try and get towards the far post. In the end, kind of ran out of options and ran out of room, Teixeira. So 15 minutes gone here, still goalless. Gao Tenyi will take his corner kick. Everyone bar Edmondson back defending it. In fact, Edmondson is in the area defending it as well. The initial header was from Nathan Paul, and it's a free kick for Central Coast. I think his side have carried the greater threat so far, no question. So difficult for referees, pushing and shoving and shirt pulling. The shirt almost ripped off his back there, Harry Steele, by Chan Xin-yi. And Arthur. That'll be a free kick. They play a pleasing passing game, Shanghai Shenhua, don't they? You can see why they're a major player in the Chinese Super League. Knock the ball about well. Slutsky has really got a pass and move philosophy into their heads, and they're easy on the eye. Here's Shu Hao-young. Now Manafa, first time we've seen him in Mariners territory. Shen Chia, Shen Long, Hao Yung. This is Jian Shenglong. Wilson Manafa. Yan Chao. Keeper's come, and, well, he claimed, albeit with a bit of a juggle. Only 18, Dylan Perage-Cullen, 6'5", born in Canberra. Made his debut in the first league game this season. Youngest in the A-League to ever start and keep a clean sheet as far as goalkeepers are concerned. McAlmont. Telegraph that. Marakis. Zhao. Looking to try and get Kazewski in on the action. Here he is, the fullback. Nathan Paul was made to work. It's good pressure from Yuhan Chao. He decided to let it run and just about managed to do that under pressure from Ryan Edmondson. Former under-19 international for England, Ryan Edmondson. Started his career at York and then went to Leeds and Carlisle before arriving here at the start of the year. Shenlong. Now Young. They do play themselves out of trouble very neatly, Shanghai Shenhua. And they've given it away here, though. This is Docker. Edmondson. I see Kozewski, there he is now on the ball, making another run forward, the fullback. McCalmont wants it and gets it. Maragis tried the old soft shoe shuffle. Keeper thought about coming, then retreated, and then the result is another Central Coast Mariners corner. Which they've played short to McCalmont. That's good to the far post. And off the bar from Brian Kaltak, who will surely think he ought to have done better, as it was a free header at the far post from McCalmont's cross. That's going to be a goal kick. Well, best chance of the first half by a distance. They do say in those kind of situations, maybe send it back from whence it came. If he tried to go across Bao Yaosheng, probably a greater margin of error, but he went the near side and it came back off the frame of the goal. Well, that might encourage the Mariners a little bit. This won't, though, because Yuhan Chao is away. Good ball in. Block shot to Shero initially, really struggling to clear it, and now they've been rescued by the referee's whistle. They have looked seriously susceptible on the break, those Central Coast Mariners. He was in behind Yu Chan Hao. Just the first touch wasn't quite what Teixeira would have wanted. They've won a Premier League appearance for Liverpool a decade ago, Teixeira. He's been at Porto and Feyenoord, former under-21 international for the Portugal national team. Straight out of play. Shenlong. Oh, Kaltak's mistake just about retrieved by Perejic Cullen. That could have been absolute disaster for Central Coast. Centre-half and keeper definitely not on the same wavelength. McCalmont looking to get Lucas Maragis away. Bit of space here for the number 12. Really hit the cross with maximum conviction. He's got it back though. Steele. Well, that's nicely worked. That was Docker. This is fish out. No foul. Maragis has retrieved it though. McCalmont. Zhao back to McCalmont again. Possession becoming a little more even after the visitors dominated it early on. That ball was out of play. This is fish out. Maragis. attack. That's an excellent ball. Spotted on the far side. Kuzevsky, but he couldn't keep it. It will be a throw, though. Archie McAlmont seeing a lot more of the ball now. Out to Maragis. Trying to show on his weaker right foot. It's come all the way across, though. That's deflected over the top. Kuzevsky's effort. Little more promising for the Australian side. Bad error. In fact, there was no deflection on it. It's a bad error by Gao Tianyi. Got away with it. So 25 minutes gone. It's whizzed by. Entertaining game despite the lack of a goal so far. On the chase is Andre Luis, pursued by Harrington. Steele. Well, they had a couple of kicks at Harrington there. That was the second one. Free kick here for Central Coast Mariners, though. In a semi-promising position as Fischau was upended. Fouled by Xu Hao-Yung. So Docker will take this free kick. It's a teasing one. There were 3 or 4 yellow shirts there. It's been scrambled behind for a corner. But for a moment, Bao Yang-shung's goal looked very vulnerable. Excellent delivery from Docker. So hard for defenders when the ball's coming over your shoulder like that. Harrington was the closest to it. Almost too many cooks in that 6-yard box. Another corner then. It's their third, Central Coast. It's above Harrington, and the header was from Paul. And once again, it was just into a mass of bodies. There was an offside flag up against Edmondson in that little melee. See Nathan Paul with a clear header, but in fact it was Fischau who was offside as soon as the ball hit him like that. Nathan Paul. Maragis looking for Edmondson, just trying to guide it down to Fischau. Well, the whistle had gone for an offside before the apparent foul on Fischau. to the feet of Teixeira. Now Wilson Menafa. Chen Xin-yi. Back to Gao Tianyi. Teixeira again. Trying to conduct the orchestra from the middle of the park. Menafa. Well, to keep that under serious pressure, Yu Hanqiao. Instant control from Xin-yi. Good battle, actually, with Sasha Kozewski. Team number 27s. That's going to be a free kick for the Australian side. Nice little layoff from Docker. Marakis. Zhao. Defender pursued him pretty deep, but he did well to keep it. Marakis. Now possibilities here. It's a dangerous cross too. And extremely well defended. Zhang Shenglong it was who got a vital touch. Oh, Caltech missed that completely. And here's Yu Hanqiao. Maybe could have released it earlier. Still has it, the substitute. Back to Teixeira. The shot from Gao Tianyi was blocked, but they can't get out at the moment, Central Coast Mariners. Wilson Menafa. Flicked on by McAlpon. Hao Yung. Menafa. See, even when the ball was maybe midway inside that Central Coast Mariners half, they had all 11 players back behind the ball. Hao Yung. Menafa. Hao Yung again. Now Fischer with a bit of real estate ahead of him. Pass was a little careless. Fully committed in the challenge, Wan Hee-jin. Won his first cap earlier this year. Midfielder. Another who came through the Youth Academy, which is very highly regarded in the People's Republic of China. Shanghai Shenhua's system with young players. Menafa. Hao Jun. Wan Hee-jin. Menafa. Given room to cross, bit too deep though. Well, I think that was, he was attempting to get that back to his goalkeeper. I think he was just going to try and chest it out for the corner. I'm not sure, to be honest. But either way, Kozewski will now need to defend this corner kick. Tianyi is going to take the in-swinger from that far side. Didn't beat the first defender, but it's still not clear. Under pressure, big pressure to Teixeira, but he did well. Wilson Menafa. One of the more experienced players, Menafa. He had 130 games at Porto in the Portuguese league. However, Steele's foul has presented Shanghai Shenhua with a very presentable opportunity here. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Very straightforward decision. So it will be Xu Hao-Yung. Chip this in. Signal to someone. Oh, keeper and defender got in a bit of a tangle. Wild shot over the top from Wen Hee-jin. But there was clearly no call there between Dylan Perez-Cullen and Brian Kaltak. Or if there was a call, it was ignored. I don't think, looking at that replay, that Perez-Cullen did scream. I think he's okay. Tough man, Brian Kaltak, the Vanuatu international. He used to play football barefooted as a child. Been pretty much never present for the last couple of years since he joined. It's his 13th club now, the 31-year-old. He's made captain fairly quickly after he arrived. Kaltak's clearance, got a bit lucky really. Teixeira. It's a good ball, there's no flag here. It'd be round the back with Tan Yi. Can't help but think he might have delivered earlier. It will be a corner. Both centre halves are up. Chen Jie and Chen Long. This time they decide to go short to Teixeira. Commanding header clear by Harrington. Shenlong. Inviting Chan Yin-Yi on the chase. Defender just got there first. It's rather a scruffy clearance though from Perez-Cullen. Luis Hao-Yung. Alpha. Easy header away by Paul. Just about saved the corner. Tan Yi looking a little more threatening now as we approach the last 5 or 6 minutes. Chinese side. Caltac decides to go long. Unchallenged header for Jian Shenlong. Nicely done by Maragis. Pass didn't match the approach play though. Bounce favoured Caltac. Well, had a great deal to do, Bao Yasheng. He had that nervous moment with the shot early in the game, and then a couple of free kicks which chipped into dangerous areas, but in terms of having to make a save, really extended. Neither was for Edge Cullen, to be fair. Steele. On by Maragis. Edmondson's header looking for Zhao. Hasn't had too much service, Edmondson, so far. That will be a free kick for Shanghai Shenhua. And rather wasted that opportunity. Been singing right from the start, those Shanghai Shenhua supporters. Zhao wasn't given much chance, really. How young? I'd like to have that one again. Way overhit by Chan Qingyi. He's actually the youngest ever Hong Kong international, Yang Qingyi, just 16. Came here from Kitchi, Hong Kong club in the summer. So moving to the final minute of normal time in the first half, there's going to be probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time for that injury early on, which had Xie Pengfei in real trouble. Other than that, I can't think of any other major interruptions in this opening half. Here's Steele. Lucas Maragis. Calmont. Too much on that, although the goalkeeper might have let that go and didn't, and the pressure therefore stays on. McCalmont went for the shot. They're going to get a corner, and there will definitely be time to take this. Just waiting for the fourth official. Let's look at the keeper here. It's clearly onside, Edmondson. was trying to save the corner kick actually because it flicked off Ju-Chen-Jia. So corner kick in stoppage time for the Mariners. Keeper stays at home, and it rather hit him. Not sure he knew much about it, but importantly he kept it out. Metre or so either side, that was in. Not out the woods yet though, now they are. The header wide from Nathan Paul. Edmondson's was the first header, and it hit the goalkeeper on the thigh. Came back out. Hasn't scored in either the 3 games they've played in the A-League or in the Asian Champions League so far this season, Ryan Edmondson. The longer strikers go without a goal, the more people will start reminding them of it. This is Nathan Paul. McCalmont. Steele. Said to the referee that he should have got a free kick. The official was very well placed. Said no, nothing doing. And it was a shot from Fijao that was blocked by Zhang Shenlong. That was why Steele was complaining to the official. This might just add another minute or so to proceedings. Here's Xu Haoyong. Chow. It's actually looked quite good since he's come on. He's on much earlier than he would have expected. Is there time for one last chance in this first half? Chipped in towards Luis. He's got Kautak at his back. Kautak just held him up. And Chow. Tian Yi. Yi Jin. Moving it around well, but is there an end product? Doesn't look like it. So we played the 4 minutes. We did have that brief stoppage in injury time itself, which is probably why we're still continuing, but we're not going to continue anymore. Half-time here at the Central Coast Stadium. No goals. Closest we came was a Brian Kautak header that came back off the frame with a goal. Chance too for that man Edmondson. His header blocked by goalkeeper Bao Yao-shun, who didn't know too much about it. And all this after Shanghai Shenhua were forced to make an early change after a nasty-looking injury to Xie Peng Fei. Half-time, though, here on the central coast of New South Wales. It's Central Coast Mariners 0, Shanghai Shenhua 0.
Asia. AFC Women's Champions League. This is Asia.
The AFC has reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining the highest officiating standards by implementing the video assistant referee VAR system across its revamped club structure for the 2024-25 season. The purpose of the VAR will be to rectify clear and obvious mistakes in match-changing situations based on the principles and philosophy of the laws of the game. The VAR team supports the decision-making process in the event of a clear and obvious error or serious missed incident in relation to goal, no goal, penalty, no penalty, direct red card, mistaken identity, when the referee cautions or sends off the wrong player of the offending team. Stationed in the video operations room, the VAR team will have access to all the camera feeds and will automatically check every match incident. In the event of a clear and obvious error, the VAR communicates with the referee immediately, after which the referee will signal a check by pointing to their ear to indicate that the restart of play is being delayed. The VAR can suggest a review, but only the referee can initiate the review by signaling the outline of a TV screen. The referee always makes the final decision, but can be supported by the VAR in two ways: using the information received from the VAR for factual decisions, or personally reviewing the incident at the referee review area for decisions that require an interpretation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome back for the second half, the team from tonight's clash.
Well, a warm welcome back to the Central Coast Stadium, where, as you can see, there's going to be a change here. That's Yang Zheshun, who's about to come on for Shanghai Shenhua, defender. And Wilson Manafa is the man who's been replaced, the Portuguese fullback. So that should be a straight swap. We'll go into the right back position. The new man, there he is. Doesn't appear as though there have been any changes to the Central Coast Mariners lineup. So where we go then? If you're just joining us, Shanghai Shenhua in the blue, and they're attacking the goal away to our left. A first half that was largely devoid of chances, although Brian Kaltak, the Central Coast Mariners skipper, did hit a post with a header. Oh, nearly got himself in trouble there, Parage Cullen. A couple of anxious moments, lack of communication with his defenders in the first period. Kozewski just able to shepherd it back to his goalkeeper, Ju Chengjie, but he's collided with Bao Yaosheng. Seemed a little bit unnecessary. I don't think Edmondson did too much wrong, but Bao Yaosheng's clearly got a problem here. Yeah, he did actually shove him a little bit towards his own keeper, didn't he? A little bit of frustration from the Central Coast Mariners centre forward. See it. He's got the butter wouldn't melt look. But he's not enjoying it too much at all, the goalkeeper. Said at the start that I thought Leonid Slutsky, the Shanghai Shenhua coach, would probably settle for a draw. Still think he would, just because of the structure of this competition. Top 8 teams to qualify for the round of 16, and if this does finish all square, then probably look on 7 points from 4 games as a potential qualifying total, but obviously 4 more games to play after this, 8 match days in the new Champions League Elite. This would be the best angle. Gave him an extra shove at the end, didn't he? Might be a little fortunate, actually, having seen that replay, Edmondson not to have been carded, but he hasn't been. Header away by Harrington. Now McCalmont. Steele. Kaltak. Kozewski. Like any of the options ahead of him. Away by Chan Chin-Yi. Shenlong. Wen Hee-jin. Now Zhu Chenjie. Possession pretty even. Mariners just shading it. 60-40 after a quarter of an hour in Shanghai Shenhua's favour, but the home team have gradually seen rather more of the ball. Zhu Chenjie. Ran nicely for Xin Yi. That's an intelligent ball. Here's Han Chao. Wants to give and go, and that's a super goal. Andre Luis, he knew exactly what he was doing. One look up, and then found the corner unerringly. Shanghai Shenhua have the lead. Just 5 minutes into the second half. No real reaction from the coach Leonid Slutsky. But how cool was this? Yu Han Chao was the initiator. Just one look up, one touch to control, and then one to bury it. There's the touch, and there's the finish. Courage Cannon, 6'5" at full stretch, but got nowhere near it. Sweet strike. And the Chinese side in front. Now a real test for Central Coast Mariners. Lost their first 3 games in this competition, remember, and now behind here. Gonna have to find inspiration from somewhere. It wouldn't be overly surprising if Mark Jackson decided to make some early changes, as now the pressure is on. Luis's 20th goal of the season and his 3rd in the AFC Champions League Elite. One by Maragis. Now McCalmont. Iron hanging, but Shenlong made it his. Steele. Don't see much of Docker on the ball. He will get a free kick for that, though. Normally one of their more creative players, Mikel Docker, the Brazilian right winger. Docker's going to take this free kick himself, by the look of it. Maragis over the ball as well. I think Docker's favourite. It is Docker's delivery. It's not a bad one. Kaltak was throwing himself at it, but Zhu Chenjie defended it well. Xin Yi. Zheshun. Just ran it out. Kaltak. Now Harrington. Brought away by Gao Tianyi. Suddenly a gap appeared, but he's got too much on the pass. Pity, because Luis might have been away again there. Kazewski.
Come on! You have to make the tempo!
Barakis. Kaltak. Forward by Harrington, but not accurately enough. Couldn't find Kazewski. CHN, the captain. Appeal for handball. Either that or the ball was out, but either way, the decision has gone in the Mariners' favour. Handball was the decision. So Docker to take. Big men go forward again, including Kaltak, including Harrington. Steele in there as well. Docker's delivery. That's a good try. It was Fijal, one of the smallest players on the pitch. And just tried to flick that inside the far post, and he wasn't a million miles away. I said at the start, though, scoring goals has been a big problem for Central Coast Mariners this season. Just one in the league in their 3 games so far. 3 defeats in this competition, and staring at a potential 4th here. Away comes Teixeira. Asked an awful lot of Shinyi, but he's going to get there. Just as well, there was cover there. McCalmont, who came storming back from midfield because they looked a bit lighter in terms of numbers. Have a look at the goal, and we're worth another look. Came here in January after 6 years playing in Portugal. Actually was once in an induced coma for 3 days after a meningitis issue. It's back in 2019. Fully recovered now and firing on 20 goals for the season. Corner didn't have enough depth, but it was rather scruffily defended, but it's a goal kick. Here's the first change. Fijal, in fact, it's a double change, I think. Fijal's one of those being withdrawn, and so is Ryan Edmondson. It's just really not had any service at all. So Alo Kwon is on to play up front, number 9. Bailey Brantman alongside him, number 37. Well, I reckon he had to do something, Mark Jackson. So inside an hour, he's changed his strike force. Harrington. Kazewski wants the return, and he's got it. Well, it's a decent ball in, but just in front of Alo Kwon. That would have been a dramatic introduction. Bratman trying to make something of it. Already looking lively. 23 years of age, Kwon. Born in Sudan, but he's an Australian under-23 international. Actually played in the Bundesliga briefly for Stuttgart last year. He's the man who got the winner in their AFC Cup final in the summer. Looking to find a way back into this match then, Central Coast Mariners. Paul, back to Caltac. Now Harrington. Into the feet of Docker, who was fouled. He wants to get on with it. Kusevski. Steele. Bratman. Neither shot nor cross. Well, it must be a frustrating time for Mark Jackson. Just hasn't really seen his team at any stage dominate proceedings here. They've been shy of creating chances, and that was the moment they fell behind. Rather trod on the ball, but he managed to recover somehow, Penchao. Here's Hao Young. Teixeira. Teixeira again. They do look comfortable in possession. A little bit of keep ball is going to be particularly frustrating for the Australian side. Just can't get a touch at the moment, can they? Mariners. Oh, and a little nutmeg just to rub salt into the wound, but the pass never close enough to Xinyi, who was the intended target. Attack. Harrington. Now Kusevski. Steele. Kusevski again. Intelligent running from Docker, who stayed onside. Cross was only partially dealt with by the goalkeeper. He hasn't looked convincing, Bao Yaosheng, on the few occasions that he's been called on. Again, the pass wasn't good enough. Sorted out by Shenlong. Good pressure from Aloqual. Change for Shanghai. Xu Hao Yung has come off. And his replacement is Wu Shi. Organ tries too. Beautiful finish again. This time from Yuhan Chao. Almost a carbon copy of Luis's opener. And once again, Leonard Slutsky takes it all very calmly. But inwardly, he'll be absolutely delighted. Wasn't the best bit of defending you'll ever see. Just placed it, really, just passed it into the same corner that Luis had found a few minutes earlier. Lovely first touch, enabled him just to swivel and get a perfect sight of goal and just steer it past Perejic Cullen. 64 minutes the goal time. And this is looking bleaker and bleaker for Central Coast Mariners. Trying to respond straight away. Throwing himself at that was Kozewski. Docker with the corner. Can they find an immediate response, the Mariners? All the way across to Paul. Quite know where to go. Docker again. Off a deflection on the cross. Paul is in there again. And that's going to be a corner, I think. Shot from, or cross from McCalmont. In fact, the referee's whistle has gone. There was an offside in there. That was just a little trip, wasn't there? That's what the referee saw by Brantman. That's why he stopped it. Well, 2 goals in a 14-minute spell have made life incredibly difficult for the Mariners, and they may not have finished yet. Shanghai, Teixeira on the charge. Hancho again. That was unselfish. Luis again. The defender threw himself in front of it. Danger still not over. Teixeira. Hancho. She did well. They're knocking it about for fun at the moment, aren't they? Shanghai Shenhua. Kaltak and Luis. Kaltak just about had the upper hand. Calmont. Now Moragis. 3/4 mark in the contest. 2-0. The Chinese side lead. Well, that sums up Central Coast Mariners' evening so far. Really poor ball. That was the block. Needed blocking too. It was on target. Pretty glum atmosphere from a Mariners point of view inside this ground. Only noise being made by the Shanghai supporters. Here's Steele, though, for the Mariners. Flicking it out to Kozewski. Time to measure across, but that is nowhere close to good enough. It's a lovely little turn, wasn't he? He knew exactly what he was doing, Yu Hanchao. Man, he came on very early when Xie Pengfei had that injury, 37 years of age, but very, very fit. A huge amount of skill as well. Picked up by Hun Chao again. He's everywhere at the moment. Wu Shi. Luis trying to get there. He did very well. He was second favourite. Chin Yi just too far ahead of Luis. Steal. Chin Yi. Double change, you can see, being planned by Mark Jackson. Now they may be able to make these changes. So that's Savit Nyor, number 17. He's going to come on. That was the offside. Harrington coming off to allow Eames on. So Nyor will go straight up front. Eames into central defence in place of Harrington. But something has to change for the Mariners, and quickly. Not just personnel. They need to start threatening that Shanghai Shenhua goal, something they've just not really done at any stage this evening. That's nicely done, though. Goalkeeper calm as you like, picking it up at the feet of Alo Kuol. Looks like he wasn't there. Steal. Docker. First touch for Noir. You're wondering who the other withdrawn player was, by the way, a moment ago. It was Sasha Kazevsky who came off. And Shanghai Shenhua charging forward again with Zhe Sheng. And Chao. Wu Shi. Shenlong. Ju Chenjia. And all this possession football will continue to frustrate Central Coast Mariners. Luis is on the charge again, but he won't get that. towards Dior. Still going. He can put one back here, and he has. Goal out of nothing, really. Only been on a couple of minutes, and Dior may have breathed new life here into Central Coast Mariners. You saw the coach, Mark Jackson, say, get back in position. Let's get on with it, and let's try and get an equaliser. He was onside, no question. Defender made a bit of a mess of it. No foul, can't finish. How they needed that. Keeper was quite lucky he didn't make contact there, otherwise he might have got a red. "75 minutes in. Replay clearly showed that he was onside and there was no foul. So where we go, no need for a VAR check. Right, might well make for a very entertaining last quarter of an hour here. Probably 20 minutes when you factor in injury time. Well, still nervous times for Mark Jackson, but at least there's hope. Thanks to that Newell goal. They're going to try and stick or twist here, Shanghai Shenhua. Don't think it's in their nature to try and see this lead out. Not really Leonid Slutsky's style as a coach either. Disappointing that from the home fans' point of view. They just ease the defender out the way, Chen Xinyi. The Kenyan with a good finish, and he wants more. He's 23 years of age, Sabit Nyor. Kaltak. Docker. Just made Eames have to backtrack a little bit to pick that up. Steele. Docker. Eames. It's amazing how a goal can suddenly just inject a little bit of confidence, which was a commodity in short supply. Chen Xinyi, who was the defender brushed aside by Nyor, is coming off for Shanghai Shenhua. And A.D. Francis is coming on. Tough defender. The shot from distance was deflected. The deflection took all the sting out of the shot. Free kick given to Shanghai Shenhua. There was a bit of a shirt tug in there as well. You can see what Nathan Paul was saying. Just the word deemed sufficient. the referee. Quite sure what that yellow card was for. First card we've seen actually since the first minute when Caltech was booked for that challenge on Xi Pengfei. But Teixeira is in the book as well now.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's attendance here at Shanghai Stadium is 3,080. We would like to thank you all for your support.
It's very well won that by Bailey Bratman. It's too high for Kuo and it didn't reach New York. No indication at the moment that they are trying to sit on the lead, though, Shanghai Shenhua. Crowd liked the decision as McCalmont went down. Gao Tianyi, the offender. The referee's eyes, at least. So, final change. And they're taking off the man who scored the first goal, and a terrific goal it was. Andre Luis is making way here for Lu Chengyu, who is a striker. That was Luis's excellent strike. Question is, have they done enough, Shanghai Shenhua? Or is there a sting in the tail here in the last 10 minutes or so? No, they've got the decision here. It wasn't the cleverest piece of defending from Nathan Paul. Yu Chengyu, first touch, having just come on, and he's won himself a corner. Taken towards the near post and then volleyed by Francis into a crowd of players. And then the deflection took all the sting out of Wan Hee-jin's shot. Steele. Now Docker. Peter was confident that was going to skip through to him, and he was right. Paul's challenge. Steele. Buragis. right in front of those Shanghai Shenhua supporters on that far side. So final change. Calmont has come off. And William Wilson, attacking midfielder, is on. It's now or never, though. The Central Coast Mariners, a defeat here and leave them with a Herculean task to qualify in their 4th straight defeat out of 4. Here's Docker trying to do something about it. Nice turn by Quol. They're queuing up to block it, though. Nodded away by Wu Shi. Haven't properly cleared it. That's going to be out of play for a goal kick. Zhang Shiyun's got a problem. Right knee. They will have done it, blocking that shot from Alu Quol. Looks like he's going to see out the last few minutes here. Shearer. Now Docker. Got the pass away to Lucas Moraes. Just take one moment of inspiration to say turn around the Central Coast Mariners Champions League Elite hopes, but at least it would get them on the board. It would be something to show for a match where they've been second best for most of it. They've got exactly 3 minutes of normal time left, plus whatever there is to add. Given away very tamely to Wan Hee-jin. They've returned the favour, rather. Bit of time here for Brandon. Docker. Bradman's got it wide. It's Dior. Quol. And Docker. Still Docker. Well, he got the shot in the end. Looked like he'd taken too long about it. But it was way over the top of Bao Yaoshun's bar. High, wide and not very handsome. Free kick Shanghai, taken quickly. They are not sitting on this lead, are they? Hang Chao. Shearer. Shun. Lurking with intent here. Yu Cheng Yu. That was unselfish. Oh, what a hit! Gao Tianyi, but I don't think it's going to count, is it? No, it's not. Flag up. Well, he absolutely rifled that into the roof of the net. But the assistant's flag is going to deny him a 5th goal of the season. VAR, they're chanting, the Shanghai fans. Just waiting, because they are checking. Couldn't make anything out of the initial replay. 6 minutes of additional time.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 6 minutes of time. Hang on, 6 minutes of time.
And the goal has not been allowed to stand, so still hope for Central Coast Mariners. Six minutes to save themselves and maybe their Champions League Elite season. Wilson, what a throw. Caltech. Just not accurate enough from Will Wilson. Holds his hand up as an apology. It's been such a disappointing campaign so far for Mark Jackson. When you think he retained the title they'd won before he arrived in his first season here, won the AFC Cup as well, and there was a real sense of optimism that they could have a run in this competition. Looks increasingly unlikely now. It's well held up by Nyor. For the first time, they're actually taking their time, Shanghai. Hard to blame them. It's been a very hard-earned lead. 2 goals, though, 2 terrific goals. 14 second-half minutes. What did the damage? Should be the keepers, no problem. That's not a great challenge at all by Wilson, born of frustration as much as anything else. Never going to get the ball. Time is against them, just over 2 minutes to go here. Can they find something dramatic right at the death? Docker. He was coming in with intent there, Savitnur, but the defender did well, but it is a corner kick. Maybe now's the time. Docker has to wait until the artillery arrives. It will be the outswinger from the number 10. The keeper's up as well for H. Cullen, all 6'5" of him. This could be fun. Docker's corner, too high for the goalkeeper. There was a flick, and there's the equaliser. Out of nothing, Bailey Bradman sticks her leg out. The celebrations from Mark Jackson, and somehow Central Coast Mariners look to have sneaked a point here. It's not going to win goal of the season. They will not care. In the 5th minute of stoppage time, it was Paul that won the initial header, and Bradman just stuck a boot out and made it count. It's a bit of pinball, actually. The ball actually reached Bradman. Wow, what a climax. And it might just ignite their campaign. We've got 30 seconds left. Free kick here as well for the Mariners. Couldn't possibly steal the victory here, could they? 10 seconds of stoppage time to go. Docker is going to float in this free kick. Not what he was trying to do. No height on it at all. Headed up in the air by Eames. Was flicked on by Quoll. And then cleared, and we've played the 6 minutes. Going to be a free kick. There won't be time to take it. Well, what a dramatic ending here. It looked as though the points were destined for Shanghai Shenhua after Luis and Hanchal both scored wonderfully taken goals in the space of 14 minutes in the second half. Nior came off the bench to get one back, and then in the 5th minute of stoppage time, Bailey Bradman, another substitute, poked in the equaliser. Maybe they didn't deserve it, but they will certainly take it. And at last, and at the 4th time of asking, they have a point on the board in the AFC Champions League Elite. Leonid Slutsky, they must be wondering how his team did not win that match. They move on to 7 points. It's not a disaster, but he will surely look at it as 2 points dropped. Incredibly exciting finale then, here at the Central Coast Stadium in Gosford. Final score, somehow, Central Coast Mariners 2, Shanghai Shenhua 2.